Namaste. This is Yoga Therapy Podcast, and I'm your host, Shira Cohen, yoga teacher, yoga therapist, and Ayurvedic wellness educator. In these conversations with experts in the field of yoga therapy, you'll find out what it is and how it can help you and your loved ones to reclaim well-being. We'll touch on physical as well as mental health, physiology, emotions, women's health, spiritual well-being, goddesses, and self-development in the fullest sense. Listening to another story can change ours, so thank you for showing up, and let's begin this journey together. Hello everyone, all you beautiful people listening to this podcast. I want to first of all thank you from the deepest parts of my heart for joining me on this journey. I keep getting more and more feedback from you, and it's really nice to hear how much you're appreciating the podcast and that it's also giving you as much as it's giving me. So it's the end of the year. This will be probably the last podcast for this year. I'm just going to wait this noisy person buggers off. Anyway, so unless someone all of a sudden joins me and schedules a podcast in the next few weeks, this will be the last one for this year. What I wanted to say is I would be really grateful to those of you who can afford it to make a donation. I will put in the show notes a link to either PayPal or direct transfer for my bank account. Anything would help. It's just financially life is getting a little difficult, and I think it's not just for me, I think it's for all of us. But any little contribution helps and will help this podcast stay alive, because I really want to keep going. Next year I want to head into more women's issues and women's health, also the goddess studies. I have a few people who are very interested in being part of the podcast who would teach us more stuff about religious studies on the goddess and such things. So I do want to diversify the podcast, and I hope you're just as keen as me to keep learning about this amazing thing called life, which has so many different fields, and each field is so vast and has so much potential to connect us and to heal us and to bring us together, to share our understanding, to share our knowledge, and in that way create bridges and connection rather than division. And what we're seeing going on right now in the world, there's a lot of uncertainty and fear, which just makes us shut down. And so I think it's important that even though there is this uncertainty, and even though we do all believe different things or have different values and identities or opinions, that we need to stay open for each other's ideas and just listen with kindness. And so this is what this practice today is about the space of a loving and kind awareness where we are open and reflecting and willing to hold whatever arises, the painful, the difficult, the beautiful, the awe-inspiring. All of it is a part of life. So life, like we said last week with joy, is not easy. Life is hard. We are going to get knocks, and to try and escape the painful parts of life, we become lifeless. That is, when you look in the dictionary about emotions, when someone is without emotion, they are dead. That is the actual description, even in today's dictionaries. If you look at older dictionaries, it's much more descriptive and beautiful. So also dictionaries are changing, and I have a dictionary that's 116 years old, and it's very different to the dictionaries we read now, but still emotion, the fact that we feel, and the ambiguous as well as the beautiful, is what brings us together. And to shut down just because it's difficult is not going to help our world. And we all need to be very aware and awake and sensitive to each other. So I'm leaving you with this beautiful practice. It's part of the yoga teachers class that I was teaching this year, which is also coming to an end. And I'm very sad about that because it's been a lovely group, and we all look forward to these bi-weekly get-togethers. So I don't know what's going to happen next year, if I'm going to continue it or not. But anyway, here we go. This is the practice. You can either do it lying down or sitting. I've done it for these people lying down because they were all very tired. It was at night time. But you can do it sitting. I hope you enjoy it. And if this is the last one for this year, have wonderful times together with your family and loved ones. If you can't be with them in person, write them cards, call them, keep connecting, no matter how difficult it seems. Or I know sometimes we can just feel very exhausted. I know I feel very tired lately, and I just want to hibernate, and I think that's a good thing too. I don't think we should pretend we're always fine and be positive when that's not how we're feeling. Again, that's opening up to emotion, to feeling, and to let that life move through us, because through the painful parts we deepen ourselves. It is the hollowing of the unnecessary to reach the soul level and be able to be filled with awe and beauty and passion for life and for each other. Only comes when the container is empty. If we keep having this full container of certainty, we don't have certainty. Life is a mystery. We will never have all the answers, no matter what science discovers. There is always going to be that veil of mystery. And that is the beauty of life. Let it be so. Let it forever remain so. Okay, so goodbye and have a wonderful few weeks. Have a wonderful new transition into the new year. May you all be blessed and live with this awareness of loving kindness. So this meditative practice is an adaptation from some of Tara Brach's meditations. And you can do it either lying down or seated. Just make sure you're comfortable for the next 20 minutes and enjoy. And just make yourself nice and comfy. If you need to get warm, take your blankets. Make sure you have everything you need. And just feeling the body as you are, lying on the floor or sitting, whatever you're doing. Allow yourself first to arrive to where you are. Feeling the back of your body on the floor, resting, becoming heavy, and just notice the whole of your back body. Make any adjustments to make sure that you are comfortable, completely comfortable, and can just surrender, let go. And take a few breaths to just breathe out any tension. And as you breathe in, just opening up a little more. And then again, say to yourself with the next in-breath, I am. And with the out-breath, here. Breathing in, I am. Breathing out, here. And just each time, let yourself arrive a little more. And bringing your awareness to your heart. And bringing the threads of awareness. So the threads of sensations. The thread of feelings. The thread of thoughts. Identity. Values. And the sense of self. and even the thread of breath. Bring it all into the heart and allow it too to settle. And I want you to bring your awareness to the eyes. And can you imagine the space between the eyes? Can you imagine the space within the nostrils? Can you imagine the space between your ears? Can you imagine the space within your brain? Can you imagine the space between the third eye or the eyebrow and the back of your skull? Can you imagine the space within your tongue? Imagine the space within your lips. Can you imagine the space within the teeth, the gums, and the whole of your mouth? Can you now imagine the space within the whole of your head? The whole head. Can you feel that the lips turn into a tiny smile? And the skin of your forehead and even your eyes turn into small smiles, cheeky smiles. And even the ears are smiling on the back of your head. And then feel this space, imagine the space within these big smiles. And can you imagine the space within your neck and throat? Can you imagine the space between the shoulders? Can you imagine the space upon your chest, from your chest to the spine? Can you imagine the space between your left side of the body and the right? Can you imagine the space within your heart? Can you imagine the space within your lungs? Can you imagine the space within your arms, the whole length of the arms, right down into the hands? Feeling the entire volume of the arms and hands and fingertips. Bringing your awareness back into the heart. And then feel the entire, can you imagine the entire arms, heart, chest, and lungs, the whole space within this part of you? And feel all of this smiling. A gentle, soft, open smile. Spacious, free, light. Now can you imagine the space between your belly button and your spine? Can you imagine the space between the left side of your waist and the right? Can you imagine the space between your hip bones? Can you imagine the space between the sitting bones? Can you imagine the space between the pubic bone and the sacrum? Now, can you imagine the whole space from the belly down to the pelvic floor? Can you imagine all of this smiling? Every cell, every tissue, every atom. Can you imagine the space from the hips to the knees and the whole volume of the upper legs? Can you imagine the space within your knees? Can you imagine the space from the knees to the ankle? Can you imagine the space and the volume of the feet, the toes, and the soles of your feet? Now, can you imagine the volume of the whole of your legs and the feet and the toes? Now, can you imagine all of this smiling? Every cell, every tissue, every nerve, every atom. Feel everything smiling, a soft, wide, open, and light smile. And can you imagine the space within your whole body, from head to toe? And everything smiling. Can you imagine from your heart the space in front of your heart extending to the ends of the universe, out into space? Can you imagine the space from your heart extending to the ends of the universe from the back of the body? Can you imagine from your heart to the ends of the universe, to the right side of your body? Can you imagine the space from your heart to the left side, to the end of the universe? Can you imagine from your heart through the top of your body all the way to the end of the universe, the space between your heart and the end of the universe? Can you imagine the space between your heart and the end of the universe from the bottom of your heart And can you imagine the whole of the universe, the space around you, and the space within you as one pure awareness? And that awareness is gentle, smiling, a wide open, light smile. And that every atom in the universe has this same gentle smile. And the space within your body and the space around you are the same, connected, common, in unity with pure witness, awareness, Shakshi. Just allow yourself to rest in that space, a gentle, loving, kind, wide open space. Allowing whatever arises, thoughts, feelings, sensations, to arise within this awareness with this gentle, kind, loving awareness. It allows everything and from which everything arises. Allowing it to merge back into that gentle, loving awareness. If you need a place to land, a place to settle, let it be in your heart. And move into the space from this place. And gently bring your awareness back to this moment, back to the space within your body. Feel the gentle, loving, kind awareness within you. And allow it to rest within the heart with all your thoughts, with all your sensations, emotions, feelings, breath. And the rising and falling. Not just seen for what they are. And whenever you are ready, or you want to come out, you can. If you wish to remain here, you can. Become aware of the sensations within the eyes. And notice if you are now, even if they are closed or open, gazing gently or focused. Also become aware of the tongue. Is it resting or active? Feel your cheeks, the forehead, the skin around the ears and lips, the eyes. Skin around your shoulders, chest. And slowly start to move the body. And ask yourself if there's anything you need, any movement, any kind of breath. Maybe you want to give yourself a big hug. Maybe you need to stretch, whatever it is. Honor your body, honor your mind, honor the senses, honor your psyche. I remember once I did a Tai Chi, it was a very long time ago, it's like 16 years ago. And the Tai Chi teacher was very dedicated. And we were doing the Qigong exercises very slowly to warm up. And he asked us to take a moment and feel every cell in our body smiling. And I started crying. I had never been that nice to myself in my whole adult life. It was just becoming aware of the fact that we can be so harsh on ourselves. Yeah, and that our world is geared towards that. And just having that gentle smile upon ourselves is really important, realizing that the universe is actually always smiling at us and with us. Bye.
Right, I'm going to.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.